Hey everybody, it's Ken Compton from the Savvy Inspector, and today we're doing a coaching webinar on getting your sales site ranked #1 in Google and the local listings. And I'll tell you, this is a killer topic. If you're not doing done-for-you services, then what happens is you got to get that sucker ranked yourself. And today I got Ken L with me. Ken, welcome, sir.
Glad to be here.
Ken is in charge of the done-for-you services unit for the Savvy Inspector, and he has lots of employees that work on his team. And this is the way that we do it for our done-for-you services members. So Ken is going to go right along and do a presentation. And then what's going to happen is feel free to ask questions as we go along, because there's a lot to this. Okay, so there's a lot to it. So be sure to ask questions. I'll be watching the chat box while Ken's presenting. So Ken, there you go, sir.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. The topic is how to get your site ranked #1 in the Google local listings and in the Google organic results as well for your target keywords. And my goal for this presentation is to give you the most important steps to getting your site ranked in those places. And the reason why I want to do that for you is so that you can let your employees implement these strategies or do them yourself. Again, I want to be able to. I want you to be able, as a business owner, to be able to hand this mind map and the recording off to your employees, and let them follow the steps in the right order and get great results. I don't want you to have to Google how do I get my site ranked, or spend thousands of dollars on programs. We've done all that stuff for you. We're going to save you time on this presentation. So I'm going to go slow and explain everything as well as I can. We'll be watching the chat box if you have any questions. So thank you for that great introduction, Ken. I'm Ken Lenore. I manage the team for done-for-you services. My job description is basically to make the numbers move in the right direction. And who am I and why should you listen to me? We have dozens of clients ranked in the 3-pack. Here's Malcolm Godwin's #1 for Chattanooga home inspection. Almost all of his keywords, he's #1. Certainty ranked #2 in the Google local listings for Louisville home inspector. We have Dave and Strand. If you came to the workshop, you met all of these guys. Luckily, they're very they honor us and really brag on us. On what a great job we do. So Boise home Bitnail inspections in the 3-pack. And I'll show you some other things. These rankings are very, very important. But the reason why we get them rankings is to get them more phone calls and to get them inspections scheduled on the website. And I'm going to show you how to track, how to track your inspections scheduled on the website and the phone calls. Edmonton home inspector. This is executive home inspections. Ron Henderson's been with us for years now. Jacksonville home inspector. This is Lou Prinzi, has been with us for quite a while. First choice building inspections. Sacramento home inspector. This is Raymond Overton. Hawkeye home inspections right here in the 3-pack, and you see he's got 38 reviews. So I'm not gonna spend any more time on this. The mind map will be up. We have dozens of these. These are the most important ones here in the biggest areas. So the list goes on and on.
And Ken, let's talk about a minute for this. Why would you want to be in the 3-pack? I mean, you guys, I've said real estate agents are going away. Guys, they're going away. And what happens, this is the most important real estate in your market for your primary keyword phrases. Because when you're in a 3-pack and you have lots of reviews and you have current reviews, a lot of times people will not search any further than the 3-pack. So if you want to get business from the internet, this is one of the places where you really have to excel. And this is why Ken's talking about it today. You don't have to go anywhere else to get this information. If you want to do it done-for-you services, God bless you. If you don't, guess what happens is we don't teach you how to do it, or your staff. Let's see, Brian said, what are the keywords, or Adam said, what are the keywords you're targeting? What we do, Adam, is we do comprehensive keyword research for all the products and services you do. We target first the keyword phrases that have the highest search volume monthly in your market. So Brian says, I read a stat was 85% of the work goes to whoever's ranked 1 in the 3-pack. It's about 53% of the people click on the first one. But then, Brian, what happens is, and this is where we talked about this at the workshop, just because you're ranked in the 3-pack and they click on your website, if you don't have a website that converts visitors into paying customers, you've wasted those clicks. So this is only half of the equation. Getting into the 3-pack with reviews, but a lot of times consumers want to go further and they'll look at your website, and then again, if it doesn't convert, you lose. So that's a real issue, conversion, website conversion. So, but this is the first step. All right, Mr. Ken.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to be able to convert those visitors into paying customers. You got to be the kind of person you have to convey in your content marketing that you are the kind of person that they want to work with. So so again, like Ken was saying, why should you care about all this? Obviously, making more money. It's a big thing. More inspections. If you're ranked, whether it's 53% or 85%, you'll have a steady flow of leads and people at least looking at you every day, every week, every month. And I just brainstormed a bunch of the reasons why you should care. If you are ranked, you'll be able to do. You won't have to be trying to struggle for business or trying to fight for business all the time. You'll have a marketing strategy. Being ranked is certainly a marketing strategy that's at some point can be passive in some markets. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy something like freedom. It can buy you time in a way. So I really like that. Spending less time marketing, being ranked. It's like I said, after you get there, you can almost coast in some markets. In some markets, you have to fight for it all the time because people are always going to be trying to get your ranking. So sometimes it's not always going to be so passive. But also, like Brian was saying earlier, people think that if you're number one in Google, people think, well, I guess they must be good. If Google advocates for them, then shoot, I trust Google. So you'll automatically be seen as the obvious expert. You'll automatically be seen as an authority, and that's huge for conversion. So I mean, it kind of pre-frames them. It kind of pre-frames the people coming to your website that you are an expert. Some other benefits of why you should care about it. People will want to utilize and leverage your number one position for their own interests. That's and I mean that in the best way possible. You'll naturally attract opportunities because of your position. People will want to use your position. Real estate agents will want to use your position. Partner vendors. If you're getting traffic on your website, you can actually generate some recurring revenue. With partner vendors, if you refer out to a termite company or a mold remediation service, you can partner with them. Saying that you have tons of traffic coming to your website. So being up here, there's numerous benefits. And if you don't do it, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to get leads and inspections on autopilot. That's marketing automation at its finest. This is going to be marketing automation at its finest. It's a tremendous challenge in some markets, and it feels great to overcome big challenges, and I think it's fun. So
let's hold up right there, Ken, for just a second, because what happens is if you don't do it or we don't do it, when the market switches, you're going to be in real trouble. Okay, you have to make this investment now, either for yourself or someone else. And I will tell you one of the things, when you're in the 3-pack and you have a ranked website and you're all over the internet, that's one component of a predictable sales system. Guys, let me ask you this. How predictable are real estate agent referrals? Okay, so how predictable is that? How predictable is your prior client referrals? Okay, they are somewhat predictable, but when you have a website that converts and you're in the 3-pack, what happens is people are going to come there searching for a home inspector in your market, and what's going to happen is if you're there with reviews, guess what happens is you're going to get business, a predictable business. Roller coaster income. That's right, Brian. When I'm marketing, I'm not inspecting. When I'm inspecting, I'm not marketing. And here we can predict basically what you're going to get. Okay, so Adam wants us to do the analysis in your area to know what you can do. Okay, so we can do that. Any of you guys, we can help you out with that. Okay, Ken, so let's roll on, my friend. I just want everybody to know how important this is. You got to do it, or we got to do it for you, one way or the other, but you've got to make the investment.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So just a few more things here for the setup here. Every single bit of this info is out there on the internet for free. It won't be in the right order for you. You'll have to wade through a lot of information and do some trial and error and finding the right information at the right time in the right order. And what we're doing right here is giving you the convenience factor. Here on this how-to section, this is the formula for getting ranked in the right order. everything is just a Google search away. If you don't know how to do any of these most important tasks, you can just Google it. Once you'll be able to hand this off to your employee or be able to do it yourself. I don't recommend you do it yourself. I recommend you hire somebody, because if anyone, like I said earlier, if your employee is worth their salt, they can follow instructions on a web page. If they can't follow instructions, you don't need them.
So let me just say something else about that, Ken, because here's what happens. A lot of guys, or folks, not guys, I shouldn't say guys, a lot of people on this call don't have staff. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, let's say you're going to engage in this, you're going to learn all of this stuff, and then you're going to do it. I mean, it takes months and months and months for you to learn all this. And the minute you think you have it mastered, guess what happens? Google changes the search algorithm, things change, and you're spending a bunch of time on this. So if you're a one-man shop and you have no staff, you really would be way better outsourcing this, because we can't come to your office and make presentations in your real estate agents things. We can't do your inspections. We can't do your accounting. There's so many things that you have to do. When are you going to do this? And if you don't do it, you're going to be in trouble. If you don't invest starting immediately, you're going to be in trouble. So I just can't see it. We want to show you how to do it in case you do want to do it, or you have staff that wants to do how to do it. But I just don't think it's the best use of your time.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I definitely do not recommend it, because it's a full-time job to stay up on SEO. Then yes, and that's only just one channel. You still got to stay up on, if you do direct mail, you got to stay up on that. If you got to stay up on social media. I mean, there's guidelines. You saw, if you came to the workshop, you saw FTC Guardian. There's so many things, being a business owner, that you have to stay aware of, and being able to hire employees or to outsource, delegate, all those things are very, very important.
We have 18 employees that do nothing but stay on top of this stuff and work for our clients, different aspects. They're blogging, or they're writers, or they're video marketers, or they're website specialists. And I mean, it goes on. And just learning this yourself is nuts, but you got to have it.
Yeah.
Even I used to be able to get a website site ranked just like that in the old days, and that's over.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, it's SEO and content marketing is very, very similar these days.
Okay, so you guys, if you came to the content marketing breakout session, just type a Y in the chat box. Let's see who came there. Okay, Adam did. Great, Adam. I'll tell you, Brian, excellent, because I'm just working on updating the Savvy Inspector's content marketing plan. And I said to Ken before the call, I need 2 more people on staff on that side just for content marketing. And so you can see how big it is. So yeah, Shane, you guys, congrats on coming to that breakout session. All right, Mr. Ken.
Yep. So I'll speed through this right now. That way we'll have 45 minutes left to do the how-tos. So again, all the how-tos for everything as far as keyword research, creating your Google My Business listing, everything is going to be linked here for you or your employees to follow. Or if you outsource the dump services, you'll know all this stuff is taken care of. Last thing is that there's no excuses for not knowing how to do something these days. With Google and with everything, every single piece of software you use, they always have a help section. You or your employees, or if you work with the Savvy Inspector and dump services, we will find the way. So or your employees should find the way. There's no excuse for it. So for not knowing how to do something. So that was that. We already talked about how Google is just one channel, just one piece of the puzzle for you to get more inspections to make more money. So now we'll get straight into the how-tos. Now, the first thing you do in your SEO campaign, and SEO means search engine optimization, and basically SEO, search engine optimization, I'll call it SEO from now on. Basically, that just means structuring your website in a way, putting these keywords in certain places on your website, so that Google will see you as more relevant for searches. So when people search for home inspections in your area, you want to show up there, and Google pretty much tells you a good amount of how to do it. So the first thing that we'll do in the SEO campaign is keyword research. And why do we want to do keyword research? Well, we can track and measure rankings for certain keywords. So here in a minute, we'll talk about SEO tools and rank tracking, but we want to be able to measure our efforts. Another reason why we want to do keyword research is so that we can create targeted content for people who are already searching for those things. We basically want to get in front of trends online. if there's a ton of people already searching for home inspection checklist, let's create that piece of content. Let's get in front of them and capture that traffic, capture those people. Traffic just means visitors to your website. So doing this keyword research, we can find opportunities to get people to your site and convert them into people. We can find targeted people who are looking for services that you offer, and we can capture that traffic. We can get in front of moving trends.
Hey, Ken, I want to just stop there for a second and say the beautiful thing about this is when we do keyword research, we see questions that are being asked. How much does a home inspection cost? How long does a home inspection take? Can a home fail a home inspection? Okay, so when we see all of these keywords, then phrases, then what happens is we write articles about those and put them on your blog, and it brings customers right to your website. But we also want that to show up because they're thinking that too in the search results. So we can get these articles to show up there as well. They click and come, and next thing you know, you have some real opportunities. So keyword research is not just about how many people searched for Home Inspector Atlanta last month. It's a way bigger thing than that.
Right, yeah, it's exactly it. So you can create a content production schedule. You can create a content production plan. Like Ken was saying, it's not just about home inspections in Atlanta or home inspections in Sarasota or whatever, or things like that. It's also like, what kind of questions should I ask a home inspector? What happens during a home inspection? I mean, people are wondering these things, and if you and Ken mentioned articles, but you can create videos too. I recommend you create videos answering those questions, because that really engages people. The video really engages people. If you have time, I totally recommend creating videos. Like Ken asked you if you were in the content marketing breakout session, it's an incredible opportunity there.
I can't reinforce that enough, what Ken just said. The fact of the matter is, and we were at the workshop, I can't tell you how many home inspectors that were not our clients said, I watched all of your YouTube videos or any other place I could watch your videos. And they were convinced they wanted to join the Savvy Inspector because of that. So we take these keyword phrases and give them to you. And then what happens, you make some videos about those. Ken's exactly right. We did, Coach William and I did a little while back, are you thinking about becoming a home inspector? That thing has had tens of thousands of views and hundreds of comments. Okay, so, there's a lot of things, that we can do with video. So I agree with Ken, video is the way to go.
Yeah, and kind of and one last story on this. I was in the market to buy a home a year and a half ago, I suppose, somewhere around there. And I was around the same time I met with Coach William for some content on his website, and we were doing the same thing. We were finding, we were creating content for what's a home inspection, why do you need a home inspection, what's a mold inspection, why do you need it, and things like that. And when I was talking to William, I was blown away by how much he knew. And I was like, if I want anyone inspecting my home, I want William inspecting my home, just because how knowledgeable he was, and how authoritative he was on that, on why you need that. And that to me is the essence of content marketing, being the kind of business owner that people want to work with.
Adam says, don't flatter myself. I have a face for radio. I have a voice for radio and a face for radio as well. For sure. I noticed in some of the pictures, damn, my forehead is extremely tall.
Yeah. So that's that. Definitely recommend the videos. And we'll be talking about here in a minute. We're actually about to do some keyword research. So these keywords are going to make you money. If you get ranked for home inspection, if you're in Atlanta, if you get ranked for home inspection in Atlanta, that's going to make you money getting ranked. That's a great investment of your time. If you do mold inspections and someone needs a mold inspection, they're searching for it, and you get ranked for that, that's going to make you money. So we're trying to find keywords that make you money. We're going to call them buyer keywords, but that's another reason why I do keyword research, because if you do it right, you do it the way we tell you and the way we're teaching you, then you'll make money from doing it. It'll be a very good investment of your time. So, all right. So the tools to make this happen is Google's Keyword Planner, Ubersuggest.io, and then Google Sheets for online for storage of it. So we're about to jump into Google Keyword Planner here and do some keyword research.
Please know that we don't use this ourselves. This is a version that you can use, but we use professional software we're a search engine management agency. And what happens is we use SEM tools. So this is stuff that you guys could have access to without having to spend a ton of money each month on all these tools.
Yeah, for sure. And the best part about this is that they just released the new AdWords experience on the day of this webinar. So lucky us. Lucky us.
Yeah, really.
Oh man, wow. All right, we'll get to it. All right, and actually, I'm so glad to said this because I taught this at the workshop as a breakout session, and as I was doing the keyword planning, one of the big questions was, you know, what are you actually doing? And we're in the planning process right now, so. So yeah, so basically, once you get to the keyword planner, what you're going to do is you're going to find new keywords and get search volume data. This part, click this first part, and we're going to type in some what we call seed keywords. So so y'all are in the chat box here. What kind of keywords would people search for to find your business? Just type them in the chat box. Home inspections. Home inspector, mold inspections, and then another question I asked was, what kind of keywords would you home inspection cost? What kind of keywords would you want to be found on the internet with? So home inspection cost, things like that. Home inspection services, best home inspector, I like it. Home inspection services. So the big thing here is we don't want to knock ourselves out like this, because the tool is going to be doing most of the work. We just have to give it something to start with. We just have to just give it something to start with. So after we type in all those things, city. So matter of fact, during the workshop, we actually used targeting down here. So we used Irondequoit, I think. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but all these for the targeting the location. So yeah, city is fine. You can say home inspector in Rochester. We'll go ahead and continue with this, but
when you name the city, we call that a geomodifier. A geomodifier.
And it's not nearly as important as it used to be because of the targeting and because how sophisticated Google's getting. And Google actually runs Scrum, so they work on weekly increments, and they have a very specific goal. It's actually there's actually books written on how Google works because they're so efficient, and they're so it's called agile method of working. But anyway, so just type in your seed keywords up here, and then make sure your targeting is there. We'll use Rochester, and then after that, just get ideas. All right, and in the first section, it's going to show us our exact match keywords right here, and exact match just means exactly what we typed in. And beneath that, it shows related keywords. So basically what we're going to be doing here, the reason why we're doing this keyword research in AdWords is because we can hit add to plan, and it's going to create us a spreadsheet which we're going to use to create our content plan and the pages for our website. So mold inspection, we've already determined all these are things that we want to show up and search for. So we're just going to add it to plan. And after that, we're going to come down here to mold testing. So if someone, so let's think about this. We're gonna evaluate all of these keywords based on the intent of the searcher.
I want you guys to understand that. I want you to understand that. That's so important. That's keyword intent. Some are buying keywords, some are shopping keywords. Okay, so you guys get that? Big screen TV, 55-inch big screen TV is not a buying keyword phrase. That's a shopping keyword phrase. Okay, buy big screen TV, Jasper, Georgia is a purchasing keyword phrase. So we have to look at the intent of the keyword to see, do we want to target that?
Right, right. We may end up like we'll find out mold remediation. Now, if you don't do mold remediation, it's not going to be very, very valuable for you to get ranked there, unless you have a vendor that you can refer out to and you've got an agreement there. But just in general, if you don't do mold remediation, no sense in investing your time up front unless you have a plan like that. So mold testing, we're just going to assume that our company here does mold testing. Mold removal, we don't do.
No. Remediation, no. Mold removal, no. House inspection, we do.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll add that to the plan.
Black mold test, we do it.
We do it.
Mold detector, we do it. Black mold, we do it. Home mold test, we do it. Mold treatment, we do not do it. Right. Property inspection, we do. Mold removal cost. That would be a great article or video to interview one of your partner vendors on.
Yeah, well, exactly. If they're wanting to know how much it costs, the intent is obviously to find out how much mold removal is going to cost them. And if you get them on that page while they're in the frame, you might be able to get a customer. They're going to save your number or something like that, or they'll call you right now and schedule it. So
okay, so mold removal cost is a shopping keyword, not a buyer's keyword. House inspection cost is a shopping keyword, not a buyer's keyword. If this makes sense to you guys, type yes in the chat box, because this is so important when you're looking at keywords. We have to look at intent. Okay, we want to do buyer shopping keywords, but I would tell you this: if there was a ton of search in my area for home mold test or mold treatment, you better believe we'd have our writers going for it. Okay, so Adam says no. Adam, so you're not clear on keyword intent? Okay, so here's what happens is when somebody types in black mold removal, okay, that's not a shopper's keyword. They generally need black mold removed from their house. Okay, so they're looking for how to do it themselves, or they're looking for a vendor to do it because they obviously have black mold and they need it removed. Otherwise, they wouldn't have typed in that keyword phrase. That makes sense?
If I could add another thing here, what's their goal for searching? If you could help them reach their goal, if you can help them get what they want, what do they want? Why do they search that? Might be able to. Okay, so we're gonna do this first page. And matter of fact, I haven't explained here. I know you see these few columns. You see the keyword by relevance, which is pretty self-explanatory. It just shows the keyword. Average monthly searches. Google has taken away data from us. They no longer give us actual data. They just give us a general range. But I'll tell you something about that. That's not a huge deal because it's generally directionally correct. And what I mean by that is that if black mold removal here in Rochester, because that's what we're searching in Rochester and Irondequoit and all those places, it probably gets around 10 to 100 monthly searches, average monthly searches per month. Well, black mold in general probably gets around 10 times that much. So the average monthly searches is not exactly correct, but it's directionally correct. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Competition, this is AdWords. This is just the number of advertisers that are going for that keyword. So if there's a bunch of people doing it, advertising for it, then competition's high. Suggested bid is how much it costs per click. So if you're doing AdWords, this is all for AdWords. None of this is for SEO, but we can use it for SEO to develop the content plan and to track our results. So cost per click, that generally tells you how profitable a keyword is going to be. Not always, but that's pretty much it. So I just want to go over those few things with you. But now let's go back to selecting our keywords. And I'll tell you that this keyword research can be an hour or two long task. We're gonna scroll down here just for a minute here and see what we're looking at. See the size of this. 568 keywords. So if I could just do 100 per page, like I said, this could be an hour or two long task. But you know, doing the work up front is going to get you the content plan. You're just going to, I think you'll, for me, I'll feel better doing the whole task. So let's go back to selecting the keywords. All right. Home inspection costs, you know, you can do that if you want. Mold abatement, I don't think you do that. Mold killer, that's I mean, they can buy that at Walmart. You don't sell that. Home inspector. Yeah.
Well, you're looking through that, Ken. Let me just say this. Adam brought up a very good point. Why would you use AdWords if you have good SEO and you're in a 3-pack? You wouldn't. I actually don't want you to use AdWords ever. The cost per click has gotten too high. It depends on too many things. Will your website, your landing page generally is the home page of your website. If it doesn't convert organically, you've wasted your money. You don't need to do it. You know, done few services can get you in front of all the eyes that are looking for a home inspector in your market. So I would encourage you guys not to use AdWords.
Right. And also, you know, we're still going through searching through the intent. I'll do a few more here. That way we can get on with this. We got about 30 minutes left. Building inspector, if you see that, you see how it's got a $17 click-through rate. That means on AdWords, you'll pay $17 per click. So better convert those visitors. But that could also mean if you do commercial inspections, it's kind of what I got from that. So commercial inspections might do that too. We're gonna go ahead and add that. Mold air test. I think y'all do that.
Yes.
Professional mold testing.
Yes.
Mold testing costs. You know, we can. I mean, you could add that and just have a little article. So you can think of an article on a page, and you can also think of within your article having. If you know what a heading is on a page or in a document, have a heading that says, you know, what would this cost you on your main mold testing page? You could get ranked for there. Just having those words on your page, you could do that without having a dedicated page. So
Ken, let's stop here for a minute. Look at mold specialist. The competition is high, but look what the cost per bid is, 91 cents. Any idea? I'm going to start clicking on my competitors. Definitely do not do that because Google can tell it. So, and I know you're kidding, but that's a big problem with AdWords. So look at this. Anybody at mold specialist, high competition, 91 cents a click. Anybody know why? Come on, type something in the chat box. Why is that only 91 cents? Because it's not a buyer's keyword. What's the intent of that keyword? Mold specialist. What does that mean?
Right.
Okay, so why would you go in pay-per-click or AdWords, they call it now, and try to get people to click on that? What does that mean? Okay, and that's why it's so low. Where building inspector was $17.96 because those keywords convert. That the traffic's there for that, but not mold specialist.
Yeah, it could be someone. Could be a kid doing a school report on a mold.
So yeah, so mildew remover is the same way. It's high competition, but very low because there's no conversion there.
Mm-hmm. Home mold inspector, competition's high. Don't have a suggested bid there, but definitely do that. Inspect real estate, maybe home inspection prices. We talked about this in the breakout session, but you might be able to show up for home inspection prices or for cost of home inspection without saying your prices. Because Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't want to put prices on your website, right?
Never.
Okay, but you can still communicate that the cost of a home inspection. Well, what's the cost of not getting one? The cost of not getting a home inspection, and you're still talking about in the words on your website or in the words of your video, you're still saying cost and home inspection, but you're saying, what's the cost of not getting a home inspection? You could buy a money pit, you could find all these unexpected problems, and you could potentially rank for that keyword without ever mentioning your prices. So those are just creative ways of creating content and doing content marketing.
Here's another one that's pretty instructive. Look how they spelled mold. How many times do we target commonly misspelled words? So MOULD inspection. It shows it has the same search volume as home inspection companies. So I would use MOULD inspection.
Yeah.
Misspelled words, man, I add them.
Yes. So we'll add the home inspection companies. We'll do about a few more of these. We'll get to 20 ideas, and then we'll start preparing a content plan and our website plan. But find a home inspector. That's a great one. Mold remediation costs, don't need that. Testing for mold in house.
Now, the one that Savvy Inspector would be after would be home inspector license, because that's somebody that's looking to get into the home inspection business.
Mm-hmm. Mold toxicity test. Is that something that we would do?
No, yeah, we would do that. Yeah, we would see. It wouldn't be necessarily toxicity, but we would do the test, and then the lab would give them the report.
Yes. Okay. So we've got our 20 keyword ideas, and what we're going to do now is we are going to download plan. This little download button right here. We're going to download this plan. We're going to save it to Google Drive and make it an Excel CSV. And we're going to download it. And again, doing this right, this is, like I said, this is like an hour-long task. This is
easy an hour. Takes me longer.
Yeah. So so it comes up with this with tons of these columns, and we don't need much of hardly any of them. We're going to hide these columns. Keyword type we don't need. Whoops. Currency, segmentation, hide those. Competition, suggested bid, and then we'll hide these. Okay, cool. And then we'll just click that. All right. So now we're going to start grouping our keywords into keyword buckets based on intent. So, and that's going to develop our content plan. It's going to develop our website plan by doing that. So if someone is searching for mold inspection, and let me just preface this by saying that we're going to use XYZ Home Inspection Company as xyzhomeinspections.com. That's going to be our URL, and we're in the planning process right now, and we're going to be planning our website pages. And you'll understand what I'm saying here in a minute. So what's the intent of someone searching for mold inspection? They want a mold inspection. So we're going to put this keyword right here, and we're going to say that the page that we create on the website is going to be xyzhomeinspections.com/mold inspection. Or we can say mold inspection Rochester, because that's where we are, Rochester, NY. So so we can so now we're making a page in the website for mold inspection. So xyzhomeinspections.com/mold inspection Rochester, NY. So that's the page we're going to create on our website to fulfill their intent to help them reach their goals. Mold inspection, we already did that. Home inspection cost. The intent of that is someone's looking to, they could be doing initial research, like Ken said, shopping. That's a information gathering keyword. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this for now. Home inspection services. If someone searches for home inspection services, they're looking to get a home inspector soon. So we can actually have we can actually rank the homepage for that, because the homepage is for that. We want the homepage to rank if someone's searching for home inspections, or if someone's intent is to find a home inspector today or tomorrow, or for their home inspection. We want the homepage to show up. Alternatively, we can have a separate page on the website detailing the process. But for this intent, we're going to have the homepage there. Best home inspectors. That's the intent of that keyword, is they want to find a home inspector. They preferably, I mean, I think too, for best home inspectors, they want to find, they probably want to see reviews. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to take your word for it. They want to see reviews. So, so just thinking through that intent there, you can see that they'll probably want some social proof or something like that. I
want to say something, Ken. When you type in Atlanta Home Inspector or Home Inspector Atlanta, all of the Home Advisor and all of those guys have articles called 25 Best Home Inspectors in Atlanta. And that'll come up, and it's for their directory listing. And we're going to be using that as well. So best home inspectors, people type in Home Inspector Atlanta, and 10 best home inspectors in Atlanta comes up. That content comes up from Home Advisor, from Angie's List, and others. So that's clearly they're looking for a home inspector in that market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The best home inspectors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's it. Home inspection, the intent is to find a home inspector or get a home inspection. Mold testing, their intent is to get a mold inspection or get their home tested for mold. So, you know, in our content marketing piece, whether it's a video or whether it's a article or whatever, we'll want to talk about mold testing and mold inspections on the same page, because the intent is the same. House inspection. Same thing. They want their home inspector. They want their house tested. They want their house inspected. Black mold test. Same thing. You know, they want their home tested for black mold. So, so actually, you know, we could actually have a separate page for black mold testing as compared to mold. I'm sure there's different kinds of mold, but for this intent, I think it's probably the same thing. Mold detector. The intent of that is they want someone to find out if their home has mold. You think that's about correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's it. So basically, you see this, and once you find, so is this making sense to you as far as doing the keyword research, finding the keywords that are going to make you money? If you get ranked for these keywords, that'll make you money because you sell these services. And if you get ranked for mold inspection, for mold testing, for black mold test, that'll make you money because you sell that service and you help them out. So is this separating keywords by intent, doing the keyword research and separating them by intent, is that making sense to you?
Hopefully it's making sense to you.
Adam says yes. Great. He says yes in all caps. Thank you, Adam. Brian, thank you for saying yes.
So while we're looking at that, Brian says, how many website pages can you typically create on a website? Is there a limit? There isn't. But here's what happens is I want you to understand that we're trying to get your website, your sales website, which is the static homepage, ranked into the search engines. However, by using content marketing and using these keyword phrases, it's easier to get pages on your blog ranked than it is to get your whole website ranked. So you could show up in the search engines for black mold test or home inspection Atlanta. Okay, so we have a whole strategy on what to do. There isn't a limit on the number of pages you can create. You can create as many as you want. So I guess what happens is we're trying to really make some different things happen by using these different keywords. Now, I want you to remember that Ken only put 20 keyword ideas in there, and he showed you in the beginning there were 548 to start with. So we could actually take keywords that weren't seed keywords. In other words, he didn't put those in originally, but they showed up. Then we could put them in as seed keywords and then run the whole thing again to get additional keywords.
Yeah, and you might want to do that once every 6 months, every couple of quarters. And then, you know what? That's really a great segue into this. Hopefully, Adam and Brian were the only ones that said this is making sense to them, and we got 16 other people here. So hopefully, it's making sense to y'all. If it's not making sense, I want you to tell me in the chat box. It's not making sense. Please stop because I'm about to move on to the next phase. We have 15 minutes left. So if it's not making sense to you, tell me in the chat box.
Good. Brandon's got it. Good.
Thank you, Brandon. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to that other tool, which is ubersuggest.io. And Kim was talking about how you can take those the related keywords and put them into the keyword research again, and get a ton of whole nother world opens up for keywords. But let's just come up here to Ubersuggest. Let's type in Rochester, NY home inspector. And basically what this does is it gives you, let me just show you how this works before I explain it. I'll give you a little pre-frame here. Rochester, New York home inspector. What Ubersuggest.io does is it takes these search results related to Rochester, NY, and it kind of does what Kim was talking about, how it takes those related keywords and it does keyword research for those. And it just gives you so many different keywords to go with. So this is a great way to get.
So Ken, I want to say something else right here too, because this suggest is really great. So let me ask you guys this. And when you're looking down here, related suggestions, where it says Warren Engineering, Rochester, New York, or let's see, Jim Salmon, home inspection reviews, would you want to have those as some of your keywords? I don't know. What I'd want to do is I'd want to type that into the keyword tool and see what happens. Do you guys know Preston Sandlin? When you type in Charlotte home inspector, Home Inspection Carolina has 420 searches a month on average. So you know what happens is if I was John and Robin Hill in Charlotte, you know what I do? His home inspection Carolina, receiving 400 plus searches a month would be one of my keywords. You know why? When he shows up, I want to show right up underneath him. That makes sense? I mean, if there's keyword search like that, I want to show up right underneath him. Okay, so that is a really important thing when you're doing this and looking at these suggestions in the keyword research. If you've got a huge competitor in your market and he or she is showing up with a ton of keyword search, you want to show up when they do. Okay, and that's why we use these different things. Warren Engineering, I'd want to click on that and see what it was. You know, who knows what it is? Maybe it's an engineering firm and not home inspections at all.
Right.
Adam said, holy cow, I never thought of that. See, people say, well, I'm not going to use them as a keyword phrase. Really? Right. When they show up and you do the same thing, you want to show up right underneath them.
Well, that's exactly it. It's SEO, search engine optimization, and search engine marketing is like a never-ending job.
Never-ending.
Yeah. So you'll we've done we've gone through all this keyword research here. We've done that. Let's just pretend that we've done all this keyword research. Once we've done all these, then we go to Uber Suggest. We'd find that. Then we would start ranking. We would start investing our content. We would start creating content for these other keywords like our competitors and all that stuff. And you know, so there's months and months and months of work on this. So yeah, cool. So keyword research. Now we've done that. We have our list of keywords. We have our content that we're going to create. We have a ton of content we're going to create. Now we're going to create that content. Before we do that, however, now that we have our keywords done, what we're going to do is we're going to create our Google My Business listing. You can't rank in the 3-pack without being in Google My Business. And so to do that, what you'll want to do is you want to go to business.google.com. I'm not sure why this is not a clickable URL. There we go. Business.google.com. And when you come there, you just say start now. If you don't already have Google My Business, you want to say start now and type in your business name. We're gonna say let's see here, home inspection. Home inspections of Virginia. We got home inspection Carolina showing up. Home inspection professionals. So you want to type in your business name here, and if you have if you're not already listed on Google My Business, I want to tell you this for your employees or for yourself. Do not overthink this. This is just the listing. This is just you filling out a form, adding some photos and some videos. Google's going to walk you straight through it. So don't think this is anything complicated. You're just filling out a form. So we're going to put it in our business name, Fuzzy Home Inspections. We're going to fill out our street address. And if you haven't already done this, then you have the benefit of us telling you up front that whatever street address you put on Google My Business, say this lightly, you must use that same exact address on everything else, on your website, on your Yelp page, Merchant Circle page, your YouTube channel, your Facebook page. And the reason why you want to use the exact same, and we call it NAP, N-A-P, name, address, phone number. And the reason why you want to use the exact same name, address, phone number on all your listings is because Google's anal. I'm only joking, but for whatever reason, Google is very, very particular that they say that it is it's professional. It reflects good on them for the listings to be consistent. For like I said, for whatever reason, that's just their guidelines. They recommend that. So use the exact same NAP, name, address, phone number on everything, and whatever it is on Google My Business, use that everywhere. So you just fill out the form. Very, very simple. Home inspector, put in your phone number, all this stuff, and you deliver goods and services to your customers. Yes, you do that. People don't show up at your home or your office and say, "Hey, I need a home inspection. When can you get that for me?" They usually call you, or you got to them.
I want to just mention one thing, Ken, because this is so important on NAP. You should before you ever start any of this, you should get on a text pad or notepad, and you should write down the NAP, the name, address, and phone number. If you're going to abbreviate. If you're not, you're not. If you're going to use a comma, not. Any NAP mismatch keeps you from ranking. And once you do it inconsistently all across the internet, you'll never rank. Okay, so NAP is really critically important. And I know that might sound stupid to you, but if you mess this up, you're going to be in trouble. So I would, every time I put something, I would go back to that text pad file, I'd copy it, and I would paste it straight in.
Yeah, we use Trello to do it. Same thing, but make sure that you can just copy and paste it. Don't leave it to chance. So after you do that, after you sign up for Google My Business, I'll tell you that you'll come to the Google My Business page. Very simple. You add photos. You follow their prompts, and they walk you straight through everything. You'll need photos and videos, and just as a little aside here, put your keywords, your most important keywords, your most profitable keywords in the video files and image files. And that helps a little bit. It doesn't help an extraordinary amount, but it does help. So, and just some other things about Google My Business. You'll want to, and I said make it pretty, but what I mean is that Google wants their searchers to have the best experience. So the more filled out your listing is, the better it's going to look on them, and obviously the higher you'll show up in the 3-pack. And if you help Google, I'll say if you help Google look good by having because they don't want to serve up bad listings. So if you make your listing good and helpful and all that stuff, then they'll show you up higher. Gives their searchers a better search experience. Now, if once you've done all that, you'll want to make sure there's no duplicate Google My Business listings. And the reason why is because the same thing with inconsistent app, that unless you're in a very, very low competitive area, you won't rank if there's duplicate Google My Business listings. Now, people can register your site, but they can't verify it. So people, there's unscrupulous SEO companies that go out there and they find businesses in the yellow pages, and then they create them a listing, and then they call that business up. They go, hey, we created you a listing. Let us continue and work for you, whatever. And it's a lead generation system for them. So they may have already done that for you. It is what it is. But what you can do is you can log into Google My Business if that has happened, and you just send them a support ticket. They have a support site. Let's see, support right here, and you can just you can send them a support ticket. Or you can say, you can search here, say duplicate, remove or report duplicate locations. And here's the instructions on how to do it. Like I said earlier, so to remove the duplicate location, you sign into Google My Business. In your account summary, click duplicate locations, go in the location you want to remove, and click delete the listing. So again, as I said up front, there's no excuse to not know how to do anything. Help is just a click away. And if you have any help, obviously y'all are part of the Savvy Inspector, feel free to ask in TSI Engage, and we'll be able to help you out there. But so yeah, make sure there's no duplicate Google My Business listings. And after you do that, make sure so now we've done keyword research, and we've done we've done keyword research, and we've created our Google My Business listing. So we've done keyword research, and we have a content plan for a year or two. We're creating that content. We've created the Google My Business listing, and now we're going to start creating the content. And if you went to the content marketing breakout session, Ken gave you a ton of strategies for this. I like to think that I like to assume that consumers are very selfish. So as soon as they come, what's in it for me? So that's kind of how I feel about it. But with those pages on the website, you want to make sure that your keywords and your title tag and your URL, but no duplicates. And I'm not going to go into not in this training. I'm not going to go into to page creation and all that stuff. But let me just show you. Let's see. Let's head to Rochester, New York. So on the search engine results page, the SERPs, 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 that means search engine results pages, you'll see what Google deems as most important. So Google thinks that the title tag is very important. The Google thinks that the URL is very important, and Google thinks that the meta description is very important. And I'll tell you that hopefully, not getting too technical here. Like I said, the web page creation, all that stuff is not in the scope of this training. But But if you use WordPress, it's very, very simple. I'll attach. Let's see here.
Yeah, don't leave this page yet. I got something to say on this page.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, remember when I said we looked at one of the keywords we talked about earlier, best home inspection services or best home inspectors? Look, there it is right there, home advisor. And remember one of the keyword suggestions was Warren Engineering, and I said I'd have to go look and see what they did. Okay, look what they do, home inspections and building inspections. So would you want to use that as your keywords?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Type in the chat box if you see it. I talked to you about it earlier, and there it is right there. Okay, this is very important stuff in the keywords. Okay, now let me ask you this. Who's excited about learning all this and doing it?
Oh, man. We haven't even.
Adam says no. Hell no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Oh, Brian is my technical guy. Brian is going to be making some videos for us. He's already got them going. He's doing a great job, and we'll have that service to offer. But that's funny, Brian. Everybody else we say, not no, but heck no, they don't want to do it. But that is the 15 best home inspectors. In our new directory, findalocalhomeinspector.com, we'll put these articles together in your area. So that was just an example of what we were talking about earlier, and boom, there it popped straight up.
Yeah. So, and I want to go back to what I was saying earlier about how everything, just some things to know before we get started. Every single bit of this info is out there on the internet for free. And for instance, like I was just saying to you about this training is not for the super technical SEO, putting keywords in your title tag. But if you say you use WordPress, we'll say WordPress change title tag. And we got first thing, log into the WordPress dashboard, over settings. So everything that you need is just a Google search away. If you use Done For You services, we'll do this for you. If you have an employee, they better do this for you. And if you do it yourself, I hope that you'll utilize Google as your encyclopedia. So
I want to say one more thing, Ken, about this. I have been doing SEO since the internet came up, since Al Gore invented the damn thing. And I'm going to tell you the changes are so comprehensive, I can't keep up. Okay, so I wouldn't put too much pressure on your employees, because when you have to learn all aspects of internet marketing, that is a full-time job and years of study. So don't go in there and say, I want you to do this or that or the other. And then if they can't get it or can't figure it out quickly and you're not ranked, don't get mad at them and fire them or anything, because it's just so comprehensive. Yeah, you can get good at keyword research, and then maybe you can get good at content marketing. But if you came to my content marketing breakout session, I showed you 11 distribution channels for content marketing. They would have to master all that. So this isn't just some simple situation. I hope you guys are seeing that. But it's critically important for your success.
Yes. Now, just type in the chat box if you're okay to stay on for another 15 or 20 or 30 minutes, because we'll go through the last few items here, the most important tasks. You know, the 20% of the for the 80-20 rule. I've put here the 20% that you've got to do.
And so if you can't hang around, don't worry. The recording will be up. All the resources will be there, and you can come back and see it again, because you're going to need to look at it again and again. Just one exposure to this is not enough.
Yes, right. So content creation, again, when we did our keyword research, we've got a ton of content opportunities there. I recommend you follow Ken's instruction on the content marketing piece. I always say, what's in it for me? That's it. What's in it for me? You can't create content about a certain group of keywords without mentioning the keywords. So don't overthink that. I want to tell you a great transcription service. If you do videos, if you do videos for all of your content, you can go to rev.com, rev.com, and they will transcribe your videos for what is it? Let me see. It's very, very inexpensive. It's very, very inexpensive. $1 a minute. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. We've used them a ton of times, and high quality.
So let's say, Ken, for a minute, why is it you would want to spend $1 a minute to transcribe your videos?
Great question. The reason why you want to get your videos transcribed for your content on your website, for the pages of your website, is because Google, is part of Google's guidelines, honestly. And I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm going to open up another tab here and search and show you an outstanding resource that you'll love. But Google wants text. That's what they say. And if you don't comply with Google, you won't get ranked. So getting your videos transcribed and getting that keyword-rich content, that sales content, the content marketing content, getting that on your website is going to help conversion. I'll tell you another reason why is that some people don't like videos. Some people are readers. Some people are skimmers. That's just a few reasons why you want to get your videos transcribed or your audios transcribed. Great question. Website management, we talked about that. It's not going to be in the scope of this training, but it is an important part of SEO. Now, so we've done our keyword research. We have created our Google My Business listing. We've made it look really great. We have made sure there's no duplicate listings. We've started creating content, or we have created all of our content. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to get set up in a tool like BrightLocal, SEMrush, or Moz. If you're going to be doing SEO, you have to have a tool to measure your rankings. You don't want to have to Google your keywords every time. So this is BrightLocal. I recommend BrightLocal and SEMrush. Moz is a great tool. It's really personal preference. If you want to do it, you could follow what I've been saying the whole time and just Google SEO tool. You'll see SEMrush is up here. They got Right. It's just a rank ranger. So they got tons of things, SEO books. So it's just really just personal preference. I don't want to say they're a dime a dozen, but it's just personal preference.
And so, Ken, I will tell you, let's just take a look at, we use BrightLocal, we use Moz, and we use others as well. There's a big monthly fee. And then there's quite the learning curve with SEMrush, Moz, Ahrefs.com. I mean, when you start looking at this, not only are they expensive, Majestic SEO, we certainly use that as well. So what happens is there's a lot of tools out there. They cost a lot of money. For instance, BrightLocal really works great for local businesses, but you need to know some other things in Majestic SEO, and you have to have the paid version to find out. So when you're doing it yourself, be prepared to invest quite a bit of money each month in these tools. Some of the tools give you most of the answers, but you still have to add others. There is no perfect tool. So if you're going to be doing this yourself, plan on investing a few $100 a month in these tools.
Yes, and I just want to mention why you want to get set up in a tool like BrightLocal is so you can. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I'll tell you why. So you can measure your rankings, so you can track your rankings, so you can do site audits and determine what page on site, what pages on your site are not SEO friendly, or opportunities for SEO. Maybe if you're targeting a certain keyword or keyword group on a page, you can you'll have some opportunities to better target those keywords. You can find your competitor citations, which we'll be going over here in a minute. So those are just a few reasons why you want to get set up in a tool. Mostly it's for tracking and for doing technical SEO. And like Ken was saying, that opens up a whole wormhole because WordPress out of the box. Who here uses WordPress? Just type in the chat box if you use WordPress. But WordPress out of the box is un-SEO friendly. And what I mean by that is that if you say, hey, I've done all this, you followed what we taught here, you've created your content, you've created some posts or pages on your website, it will automatically be penalized by Google because of the way WordPress works, in that when you create a post on your site in a category, and if it's getting too technical for you, you'll understand as we move on, but if you create a post in a category, WordPress automatically creates another page in your website with all of those posts in that category on one page. And so Google, when Google crawls your website or reads your website or evaluates your website, it says, well, this guy's got the same content on two different pages. What the heck is he doing? That's not a very well managed website. And so these tools like BrightLocal, SEMrush, and Moz will show you, okay, so you've got some duplicate content on your post pages. What you'll want to do is you'll want to address it. And they tell you exactly how to address it. There's just a little button you can click that makes it where Google doesn't look at that stuff. So getting set up in a tool like BrightLocal, SEMrush, or Moz is absolutely critical to your SEO success. All right, so you've gotten set up in a tool like BrightLocal, SEMrush, or Moz. You have started tracking your rankings. I mean, in BrightLocal, you could even connect Google Analytics, which we're about to talk about next. And so you've done all that. You've started fixing your SEO errors. We've done a ton of good work on your SEO campaign here so far, and we're just getting started. We haven't even gotten to the fun part yet. But so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to connect Google Search Console to your site. And the reason why you want to do that is that you'll start tracking search engine results page data. Google Search Console is what Google wants you to use for SEO. They say connect to our Search Console, and we'll give you a bunch of information. So basically, this is kind of where we're getting into the fun part now. But we'll see that. So this is Search Analytics, and this is this is Google Search Console. And in the Search Analytics part, you can say that this is from the SERPs. This site was seen 7,000 times over 30 days. So when you saw on that Google on the on these things, 10 monthly searches, you know, if you added up all your keywords, you might find out. You know, so I'm expecting a certain amount of traffic, but this one was seen 7,000 times in there, and we got 157 clicks through to our site, and you know, so now that we have this actual data, so in your SEO, data is going to be very important, because you can say, you know, well, how can I get more clicks, or you know my click-through rate was only 2.23%, so maybe I need to change my my title tag, or maybe I need to change my meta description, because click-through rate is determined through this. So now we're making data-driven decisions. You know, we have a clear number that we're shooting for, a higher number or an improved number, and we can tweak whatever affects those numbers. So that's why you want to get set up in Google Search Console and these things. Is that making sense to you, to everybody?
If it makes sense to you, type a 1 in the chat box. You have got to know your numbers. We cannot make improvements unless we know your numbers. I mean, this is the heart and soul of the matter. In order to improve click-through rate and other things that you'll see, you have to know where you are. What's our baseline? Then we have to do A/B split testing and a whole bunch of things to make sure that we can increase those numbers. I've talked to you guys a million times about website conversion. It doesn't matter where you are in the search engines. I mean, if you're number 1 and your website won't convert organic traffic, you know, into customers, then what happens? You lose. And the way that you start looking at it is through analytics. Okay, what was my total impressions? Over 7,000 clicks, 157. Average click-through rate, 2.23%. Of that 2.23%, how many did I close?
Right. Oh yeah, we're just getting started. This is the fun part for me. The numbers is the fun part for me. This is what I love. So connect Google Search Console to your site. How to set up Google Search Console? I've got a link for you here for you to follow, or for your employees to follow. So the next thing after setting up Google Search Console, connecting that to your website, you want to connect Google Analytics to your website. Separate thing here, but the reason why you want to connect Google Analytics to your website is so that you can track things like conversion rate and so conversion rate, traffic. So the big 3 really is conversion rate and traffic. And if you are collecting leads, then doing that as well. But you know, we're seeing here. This was I think last month. This was in September, and you know, we had this is Bentonville Inspection, Dave and Strand. He got a 20% goal conversion rate, which I thought was, you know, I'm really happy about that. He had 34 inspections scheduled online, which was 1 a day, which I think was a great thing. I'm really happy about that. But so what I consider, what I tell the team, what I tell my team is the 2 most important numbers that we do everything for. Why are we ranking for search? is why are we doing SEO? Why are we doing social media? Why are we doing directory listing marketing and directory listing management? Why are we doing video marketing? So that we can improve two numbers. Number one is number of phone calls, and number two is number of inspections scheduled on your website. Those are the two critical numbers that we're doing everything for. So so it's that connect Google Analytics to your website to track those numbers. I got a how-to link for you here. And once you do that, the next thing you want to do is you want to create a goal in Google Analytics for your schedule page. And obviously why, so you can see how many visitors on that page actually scheduled an inspection. And so you can start optimizing this number. Like we were talking about earlier, so last month, what the heck, man? So last month we had a goal conversion rate of 20%. How can we improve that number? What do we have to do? We got 34 goal completions. How can we improve that number? Well, obviously the first thing we do is we can send more people to the schedule page. How can we do that? We get more people on the home page. How can we get more traffic on the home page? We can do social media marketing. We can do email marketing. So we can include a website on offline materials. All those things are going to get us are going to put them in the funnel. So basically having these goals and having these numbers is creating something like a funnel. Once you know your numbers, then it's just the numbers game. You say my conversion rate is 20%. I scheduled 34 inspections on the website last month. Next month I want to schedule 40. How am I going to do that? Well, I'll need a certain number of traffic, knowing that my conversion rate is 20%. I need a certain amount of traffic to reach that goal because I know my conversion rate. All I have to do is just feed more targeted people into my funnel. So very, very critical that you know your numbers. They set this stuff up. It's really very simple to do too. Just follow these instructions right here. Create the goal of Google Analytics. So you can do performance to plan, so you can improve it. And then same thing, create a goal in Google Analytics for your homepage to the schedule page. You gotta know how many people from the homepage go to your schedule page. And again, the same thing here for that. You'll want to have a report for each of these key result area numbers. You want to make sure you know what your number of conversions are, scheduled inspections on the website. These are the most important key result areas in this. So number of inspections scheduled on the website, you can measure that. The conversion rate on your Schedule Now page, you can measure that. You can measure your conversion rate on homepage to the schedule page and number of conversions from the homepage to the schedule page. These are all measurable numbers. You want to be able to measure the total traffic on schedule page, total traffic on homepage, total impressions from SERPs, which we measure that on Google Search Console, the click-through rate from the SERPs, your keyword rankings, and then your average keyword rankings. That's going to be a manual thing. I could delete that, and it really wouldn't affect you too much. So so there we go. So now, we've done a ton of work on your SEO campaign. We've done keyword research. We've developed a content plan. We've created your Google My Business listing. We've made sure there's no duplicates. We've been on your website. We've connected, we started creating content. We've connected Google Search Console. We've connected Google Analytics. We started tracking your numbers. We have baselines now. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start building citations and directory listings. And the reason why we want to start building, let me just slow down. Let me just stop for a minute and ask everybody: is everyone understanding kind of this roadmap here? Everyone understanding how, where we're going with this? Great, awesome, love it, John. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Adam. Cool. So we're going to start building citations and directory listings now. And the reason why we want to build citations and directory listings is so that we can build authority in Google's eyes. The more listings, so I'll tell you what it is Google thinks that the more listings you have and the more citations you have, that's you're a real business. You've invested a ton of time to do that. There's not very many tools that build all that stuff manually, but you build authority in Google's eyes, having your name, address, and your phone number, the NAP on a ton of different places. You're really you're showing Google, hey, I want some business. I'm willing to put in the work. And another reason why you want to build citations and directory listings are directory listings are basically mini websites that can get you phone calls. They can get you website visitors. They can contribute to that traffic into your funnel. And you know, it helps you generate traffic to your website. It pre-frames them if you build the listings in a way that, you know, gives the people, that elicits trust in the people. You can pre-frame them to want to book with you, content marketing kind of thing. Content marketing, you know, that copy that you do, or I call it copy, or the words you put on those directory listings, that can elicit trust in people. So the citations, directory listings, you know, they can actually get you booked inspections. So a couple other things here is fill out the profile completely. You know, it's very, very important. The listing sites like Yelp and Merchant Circle and Manta are the exact same as Google, in that they want to give their visitors, you know, the people on their website, they want to give them the most, the best looking listing. They want to give the most relevant listing, the listing that makes them look good, the most filled out listing, the listing that has the most effort put into it, and all that stuff. The same thing as Google My Business. Fill out the profile completely, add photos, add videos, put real work into it. Now, Bright Local has a tool called Citation Burst, which will give you essentially Bright Local will do, they'll build the citations and the listings for you. You know, Done Free Services does the same thing as well. So we'll want to get all of your competitor citations from Bright Local. So
Ken, let me just jump in right here for a minute, because Brian just asked, do you have a list of the best directory listings? And you're about to cover that. The
yes.
ones that you want are the ones that your competitors have, plus a list of others, and Bright Local will share that with you. What's the importance of these directory listings to Google? So what you do is you get all of the ones your competitors have because they're already ranking, and then what happens is you get other ones that Google feels are very important based on the ranking. So I said to Brian, you get the ones your competition has plus the ones they don't that are important. So here's just an example of it right here. And this is, I mean, this is way more than what you want to know, but these are the things you got to know to make sure this happens.
Let's see here.
This is Bentnail Home Inspections in Boise, Idaho.
Mm-hmm. So if you come down to Google My Business and you search for your keywords, you'll find all of the competitors are going to be right here. So
okay, so let's go a little slower so they can see it. Go all the way back to the top.
Yep.
Okay, so here's what Google thinks in the first column to the right. The authority of this is Pinterest. If your competition doesn't have that, and look here to the right, it appears you have it, but they don't. Okay, so then Facebook, we have authority is 100. That's what Google thinks about it. You have it, David has it. Okay, but it looks like the top 10 Google My Business people don't. Okay, right. LinkedIn, the list goes on and on.
Let me jump in right now and say that there is no perfect tool, and so some of the data has to be refreshed. But I'm just showing you this as you come in here and you find out. So don't pay attention to any of this stuff. This right here looks like none of this happens. But here is an entire list of the citations, and when the listing is set up and it pulls in all the data correctly, you'll see an exact comparison. So you know, all the way down, I think there's around 100 of them, and you can find all this. You know, I'm scrolling down pretty fast. Sales Spider, Fave Central, all of this stuff that, you know, all these listings. And if you scroll up here, let's find other places. So yeah, you know, get all of your competitor citations using Bright Local. And then once you've done that, then you know, make sure your NAP's consistent. I'll mention that as well.
We talked about this earlier. If you have inconsistent NAP across the internet, you're not going to get ranked.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So make sure that you have all of your competitor citations. That's a ton of work. Make sure you get as many reviews as possible. I think we showed up here for Home Inspector Rochester, New York. Make sure, you know, this guy he has a 3.3 star rating and he's #1.
We love him. Let him click on him and read the bad reviews.
Yeah, but you want to get as many reviews as possible, and the reason why is we talked about how search engine, SEO is just one part. It's just one part of the big picture. You still, you want to make sure that your visitors are converted. You want to make sure that, and why are we doing SEO? It's to get traffic to your website. We remember that's the goal, is to get traffic to your website and to convert the visitors, to get more phone calls and to get more inspections scheduled online. So, we're wrapping up here. We'll be finished here in about 10 minutes. But so now that we've done all that work, we've done a ton of work on the SEO campaign. This is going to take a couple weeks, couple months to do all of this that we've gone over today. But then after that, you want to start creating content for your ideal client. Start creating more content. You might want to do some more keyword research, but once you've tracked all that stuff. And the reason why you want to create those, we call them long tail keywords in SEO, things like questions to ask a home inspector. This is part of you will already have done this in the keyword research. So this is creating content based on that keyword research. And the reason why is to get more visitors into your funnel. And there's other. You don't just use keyword research, but if a client of yours asks you a great question and you think, well, someone might ask me about that again. Do a quick video and article about it and post it on your website, and create content so that that if they ever do ask you again, you've already solved that problem. You can just send them to that page on your website, and you don't have to answer it again. So same thing in doing social media marketing. Why do that? And you say, why am I talking about social media in SEO? This is because traffic on your website is a ranking factor. If your site is popular, we've connected our site to Google Search Console and the Google Analytics. So, Google's monitoring our search traffic. They're seeing how popular our website is. That and we've gone up. We've set up these goals in Google as well, in Google Analytics as well. That and Google's seeing how targeted that traffic is. If we're getting a bunch of conversions from the home page to the schedule page, we've told Google, hey, it's important for me that whenever people come to my site, they click on the Schedule Now button. And then they see people who are on the Schedule Now page, and we've told Google, hey, it's important to me that if they come to my Schedule Now page, I want them to schedule. And so if we're sending a bunch of targeted traffic there, Google's like, well, hey, this is a pretty reputable website. If it's doing good here, and Google, in Google's self-interest, it's a ranking factor to have a popular website and to have a website that's converting. So that's why it's just a part of social media marketing. It is part of SEO. SEO is just almost just like marketing. So it's important that you have a full approach here. Don't just do SEO. If you rely on just SEO, I don't want to say it won't be good for you, but don't do it. Okay, and again, it's the same thing. Some of the benefits of social media marketing is to build relationships with people in your community, and so you can promote your content there as well. So, all right, and now that we've done all this stuff, again, the numbers, paying attention to how many impressions you're getting in the SERPs. I see John, you asked. We do all of this for your website. So from keyword research to Google My Business to now the content creation part, we do that not at a frenetic pace. So we do that one article a week. But you're welcome to pitch in as much article. We'll share the keyword research with you. You're welcome to pitch in and create the content as fast as you can. But we build the citations for you, consistent NAP, all your competitor citations. We constantly, like I told you, I'm a numbers guy. This is one of my favorite. This is the fun part for me. Once we start tracking the numbers, how can we improve these numbers? That really just gets me going. I love that.
And I think what happens, John, is this. To have a converting website that we build is fantastic. But if you don't do all of the other things that the Savvy Inspector Done For You Services does, you don't get enough traffic. Okay, so that's the big thing. Traffic comes from two places, search, and it comes from real estate agents when they hand out that list. 78% of the people on that list, receive that list, will go immediately and type those company names in. So what happens is search comes from different places, but if you just do a website, and I would encourage you to do that, and don't do anything else, that's only half of the equation.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so now that we've done a ton of work here, now we're just going to start paying attention to the numbers. We want to see if what we're doing is working. If it isn't, change your approach. Obviously how many impressions you're getting in the SERPs, what your click-through rate is. We already talked about that. Take a look at your numbers at least monthly and start tweaking things to get higher numbers. I don't know why the snap is way down here, but tell me, after seeing all of this, do you think that if you follow this roadmap, you would get ranked, you would get phone calls, and you would get inspections scheduled online?
So I got a follow-up question about this. Who has the staff to do this? Or then who's going to do it themselves and forsake all other things you as a home inspector have to have? We've only talked about the 3-pack, and we haven't even gotten in depth on your website.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, that's a really, really big thing. So, are you going to have enough stock? Yeah. So here's what happens is, I think what happens, you should go, and there'll be a link, Ken will give it to you, that you fill out a little form to talk to Beth about a free consultation about all of the things that we do. I don't do it, and Ken L doesn't. You just need to fill out the form and speak with Beth, and she'll go over all of these details with you. And then what happens is you'll understand. But I mean, when you guys look at this, and we didn't even have time in 90 minutes to really, really get into just in depth on this aspect. So yes, if you did this, it would work perfectly. But really, are you going to do it yourself? I mean, I don't think so. I know, Adam, you got a few other things going, so, and the rest of you guys do as well. So we serve home inspectors exclusively. When you look at other people that are search engine management companies and compare them to the Savvy, we know how to get your phone to ring. They don't. So, but one way or the other, you got to have this done. You got to do it yourself, or you got to get somebody else to do it for you. It's not an option for the future.
Yeah. Yeah. And that leads us to the last part. We got about 1 or 2 minutes before we head out here. I'll take questions too. I'm willing to take questions for the last few minutes here. If you have any questions, I want to be able to make this presentation really effective for you. So to implement all this stuff, you can do it yourself. You can hire an employee, or you can hire Done For You Services, or another company like Done For You Services. I recommend you hire Done For You Services because I really believe in what we do. I know that we have a formula here. We track your numbers, we improve your numbers, and all that stuff. But I feel my goal of this presentation was I give you the most important steps, most important tasks to do to get you ranked, so that you can get more phone calls and more inspections scheduled online. I feel like I've done that. I hope I've given you that, and I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, type it in the chat box.
I want to just, while you're typing in any questions you might have, when you get signed up with Done For You Services, you get an account executive that works on your account. And then what happens is that account executive is responsible for your numbers. Okay, and all of the things. They look at your numbers each month when they come out, and they say, you know what, Brandon needs these things or these things to improve his rankings in these areas. So you get a dedicated account representative that handles your account. So how comprehensive is Done For You Services? How much would we need to do keyword research? Here's what happens, Brandon. You're going to fill out a form that Beth is going to send you. And once you fill out that form, you have only 2 responsibilities. Only 2 responsibilities after that. One is have a system in place to get reviews. And the second is to do videos from the field or videos from photos. If you'll do videos from the field and you have a system, and we'll help you set it up that gets reviews, you don't have to do anything else. Everything else is done by our staff. The other, including keyword research, twice a year. We'll do it initially. We'll analyze all your competitors and see what they're doing. And then what happens is we'll work to knock them off where we need to be and get you there. That's how it is. You just help us get reviews, help us get videos. We'll do everything else. You don't have to worry about a thing. Each month we'll give you a complete report. And then what happens is you'll see where you are in every area. And then you'll see also what we're going to do to continue to boost you to try to get you more phone calls. We can't close your sales. Our goal is to increase the number of phone calls you get. Your goal is to close the sales. Hopefully that helped.
Yeah, or get inspections scheduled online. That way you don't have to close anything. The site closes it for you.
You got it. You got it.
Awesome.
Other questions? That was a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, I don't see any more questions. We're going to do a lot more on this. If you want to do it yourself, we're going to do a lot more webinars like this because a lot of people do want to do it themselves, and that's great. So we want to be able to teach you how. You don't need to have to leave the Savvy Inspector to learn how to do these things. So everybody, thank you for being on the call. Ken, great job. I appreciate your presentation today, and we look forward to talking to everybody real soon.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great one. Bye.